streaming. Yes. Oh god, it was exactly 14 days since my last stream. I am falling behind.
God, I'm gonna be sick.
I said I would do it once per week, and I've betrayed my loyal subjects. How very could I? How could I?
It's easy, actually. Just don't
Dun
do it.
dun 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 dun. Taurus, R1, Mason, Physical Depression, Lime Green Hunk, Mason Kick the Ninja Sasquatch, Ego, Darth Lepilius, hello there everybody, how do you do? I'm
I just did it dumb.
What dumb did you do?
I just sold my dual blades.
Why?
Because I clicked too fast and I thought I was just in change equipment.
Well, everyone's entitled to being retarded, I think, that's what we can say.
Well, let's see what dual blades we use now.
Will you ever talk about Hello Greedo? Do you mean talk to? And I'm willing to talk to him. We actually covered a Hello Greedo video on one of the latest Dishonored Wolf podcasts. It's definitely one of the ones that have released. Hello all. I love your channel, came through your critique of The Last Jedi. I'm a filmmaker and learning from you how to make better films. Well, that's wonderful. Make more videos soon. Next video when you burn. Next video when you bum. I see. It's currently in creation. I swear, none of you just it's on. All the updates are on Patreon. I keep putting them on there. They're freely available. They tell you exactly what's going on. And I'm just outraged that nobody wants to check that, but you're all willing to ask me. My...
Why would they check Patreon if they're not using it actively?
I don't know, but I still get to complain about it.
Oh, I guess more.
It's my right as a Who-man. Also,
No.
Bowser's beating the ever-loving crap out of me.
Deservedly so, because...
No! Mushroom! Aww. Bowser, you took away my chance to have a shroom. Ow. You bastard. Oh. Ooh. Bowser, take it easy, dude. Oh, what? We both managed to hit each other. Oh, I'm so dead. You could have killed me there, Bowsy. Okay, wait. Don't. No, no! He gets both of them. Oh, God! Well, I'm fine. Oh, that's gonna go to him, isn't it? Hey! Can you... How long do I have to do this before he dies? Oh, Jesus! I don't like this. What's he doing? Bowser, stab. Oh, he got me? I was doing a down A hit and... Nope. Come on. Samus, I see you're a man of culture. You don't understand the new Star Wars because it's for kids. This is true. This is true. Muller, hey Muller, man, what do you think of Ant-Man and the Wasp? I thought it was okay. I liked it. Didn't think it was that, you know, yeah. Don't really have much to say on it. It's like one of the most middle-of-the-road Marvel films, I guess.
Wow.
I mean, I liked the characters. I found bits of it funny. I always enjoy the small, large action scenes. The plot made absolutely no sense whatsoever.
I make you want to drink more.
I make Metal want to drink more just by talking about this, you see.
That's exactly what I'm gonna do.
No, they murdered my teammate. This is horrendous. Literally, he got murdered by a little kid while I was fighting a dinosaur. That is the magic of modern gaming. Oh, that star. Let's go for it. Yeah. No! Come on then, boys. Beautiful. Got a new rant in the pipe? Actually, yes, probably, because of the new Predator film that's being released. We will be approaching that. Mel's really looking forward to it because he's a huge fan of reboots in general.
It's such a sad thing to say, even. I'm a fan of reboots. I don't even like the original ones.
It's even worse. You're like, I like the originals until they get rebooted. Then they get kind of, outdated. I have seen the rumors that Rian Johnson's trilogy got cancelled, but it's like not a direct confirmation yet, as far as I can tell. Like it's not clear cut, but it's there's something to go on.
Sounds confirmed to me.
Well, it's there was a quote from somebody who basically said they were in the process. It was the people who were making the Obi-Wan film. I think they said like it sucks because we were like in Tatooine, we're beginning it all, but it's been cancelled now, as well as many stories that were going to span across galaxies. I think is what he said, and a lot of people are saying like, oh, that's probably Rian Johnson's ones because he was going to be taking it to a completely different galaxy. So I think that's where the speculation comes from, though I can't know for sure. Versus, why do I have to fight Fox? He's like one of the hardest AIs in the game. Stab! Hey Fox, boom! Oh wow, that actually worked. Deal with it. Oh Jesus! And he gets the Pokemon. No! I didn't want to do that. What have I got again? Oh, it's a bomb. Go! Oh no, I don't. Ooh! You know, Fox, you're not the smartest. Maybe I shouldn't have said you were the smartest AI. That was a mistake. Well, he gets another Pokeball for free. That's wonderful. So, yeah. Someone should tell him that is in English. Ah. Why are there so many items in this one? Oh, he just... Oh, that's... I'll have that, thanks. This fight's gonna go on for a while, I think. No.
So I think the
Ooh.
top of your game is cut off.
What's cut off?
The top of your game is cut off.
You sure?
Yeah. The timer is just barely in there.
Oh. Are you... Alright, I will check. No, that's mine. That's also mine. Oh, this bot is going to be so angry at himself. wait, what? I'll do that. Oh, I didn't even need to kill him? And I had 2 Pokeballs. God damn it. Alright, let's have a look. Because I think you're a dirty liar, Mel. Yeah, the timer's not cut off. What are you talking about?
See, if it would be on the page correctly, it would be fine. But it's clearly still your fault.
I agree, Nara Shikamura. What do you think Disney will do after episode 9? Reevaluate their situation. That is going to be something they'll definitely be doing now, and certainly after episode 9. Well, my favourite is Metroid Prime 1, but I haven't played enough of the others to be able to give a strong assessment on which I think is the best there. Poe 801. Do a barrel roll. What are your thoughts on Resistance? I haven't even seen the trailer. There was a funny back and forth I had with, well, I say back and forth. Hello Greedo posted that maybe you don't like, something like, stop complaining about, he was referring to that trailer, and he was saying that it's obviously meant for kids, so like, why complain about it? And so all I said back was, what does it mean then when a kid says, it looks awful? Because I really hate the idea that it's like, your criticism isn't valid because this content isn't meant for you. It's like, that doesn't necessarily mean like, just because I don't like romantic comedies doesn't mean I can't fucking criticize them. If that makes sense to you guys. And the amount of responses I've had that have made no sense whatsoever. Like, some guy was like, that's anecdotal. It's like, exactly, it's anecdotal. The whole point is that it's... how do you account for it? If you're like, you only dislike it because it's meant for kids. It's like, so what if kids don't like it? Curious is the word. Did you see Mission Impossible? I did not, the good senator. Thank you for the $2. Skadoosh. Oh. Thank God I'm still alive. Oh, he just killed everyone. That's great. I say everyone because Captain Falcon doesn't fucking do anything. Aha! Food? Oh, wow! Captain Falcon killed him! I am beyond impressed. Thank you. God, I'm gonna suffer so bad at this. What's the best 2D Metroid game? I would say Super Metroid personally, but I haven't played every one of them. But I was about to go to Tashi Station to pick up some power converters.
Hold on, I'm back.
Ugh.
Sorry.
Have you seen House of Cards? I love season 1 and 2. There's things I adore about season 3 and a couple things I don't like, and then the rest of it's terrible, is my assessment, Dennis. So Star Wars Galaxies was going to make franchise crossovers canon? I honestly have no idea. I don't know anything about Star Wars Galaxies or... What's the new one called? Again, began with R. But I mean, it's possible. I just don't know enough about it because I think at this point they're gonna try anything. When's the TFA breakdown video coming out? It's gonna be. I usually say this a lot. It's gonna be at least a month, especially because I'm gonna be taking a break to do the Predator stuff in about 2 weeks. So more and more delays, but it's very, very big. I actually recently got done with a redraft for part 1, in which it's essentially in its final position now. It'll clock in at 2 hours and it's going to have many, 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 many quotes. But yeah, the other reason I'm slowed down as well is I'm getting statements off other YouTubers now. I decided to have that in my series, which is going to be a bit of fun. And so obviously I'm a bit beholden to when they deliver, but even if they had, I'd still be going.
Wow, so you're outsourcing your work because you're too lazy to do it yourself. Got it.
I've never heard of this lazy word. What's that? I mean, the thing is, I could stream my writing process. It would be so fucking boring.
Did you try that once?
I did, but the thing is, it wasn't quite my writing process because I was really interacting with everybody and asking them what they think about what I was doing. What I'm saying is, like, if you watched me write, you'd be watching me read all my sentences, check certain definitions, redraft, look at another thing, pull up the movie and look at the scene, and you just be like, God, this looks so boring.
Like, see, I'm already falling asleep listening to
exactly. But yes, thank you for the $5. Any thoughts on the upcoming Star Trek series? I'm not the guy to ask, so I don't know anything about Star Trek. How far are you with Clone Wars? I finished season 1 recently. I think that was like yesterday, and we're moving on to season 2 the next time we get together, me and Fortier, so that's as far as I am. We're going slow, but we'll get there. Looking forward to Smash Ultimate. I won't be getting it because I don't have a Switch, but yeah, it looks good. Also, I'm dealing with a really passive robot right now.
It's like, come on over here.
I don't want to fight you. Fucking hell. I'm just gonna be able to kill him this way then. I'll just talk to my chat while you try and ruin my gameplay.
What is he doing with his voice? Like,
I don't want to fight you.
Maybe I'll reach.
Yeah,
What's he doing?
why does he think this is a winning strategy? Oh wow, I finally got him with the blast too. Oh, I should have aimed that better. This is like a mini game. It's like, what combo can get Luke to... Luke can get Link to die?
Luke? Hey.
Hi, I know you hear this all the time, but I love your channel. Keep it up, mate. Thanks. Thank you, my Sally Joe. I appreciate it. Where'd you buy your boulders? Wherever I buy them, I'll make sure to take my daughter, because, as everyone knows, young girls are very good at identifying high-quality boulders.
What?
If you don't know the meme, you're never going to understand.
That makes no fucking sense.
I'm glad it doesn't. Mario, stop it. You're supposed to be the good guy. Ooh, 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 yes. Wheezing? That's not a Pokemon. That's a shitty Pokemon. Alright, this is like a chance I can get them to commit suicide here. Oh, what? That's not how I wanted it to go.
Also, my controller tabs are not picking up on the microphone, right?
I mean, if they are, it's not bothering me that much.
Okay.
This is like the only mission I actually have to really concentrate, because this is like, I don't think I ever do this without at least dying once. No! Oh, that's a dead. What the hell are they doing over there? Nope. No! No! I've not even killed one yet. You can't let me go die without getting a single kill. Uh-oh. Ooh. Alright. That's actually pretty good progress. No! Hey look, it's Green Mario. Otherwise known as Luigi. Okay, yeah, I can definitely hear that.
Oh, sorry.
You find a manster.
Yes.
And... oh, gee, oh.
I gotta...
Whoa!
Uh-huh.
Fucking launched me a mile away. Well, we've only got one life left now. I don't even think I can beat Master Hand with one life.
Just threw you off the fucking map. Good shit on.
No!
I also have like an instrumentalist with me, like one of those wildcats that just burn you sometimes, just buffs me. Like all the buffs. Amazing. Good shit, yo.
I would imagine. I want to be careful here. Oh, oh, nearly killed himself. That'd do it. Should be playing Mewtwo. He's the closest thing you get to a Sith Lord. He and Crenado. Here's something for your good content. Thank you, Avalash. Avalash?
Freaking Monster Hunter.
It's me, Mauler, Dragon Hunter. Hello there. Would you ever watch the Ewok movie? I don't see why not. Ewoks are wonderful. What is your favorite element? Mine is the element of surprise.
AIDS.
He likes AIDS the most. I don't know if you guys think about that.
Favorite elements.
Make sure those boulders weigh over 500 pounds and bring your couple months old daughter with you. Yeah, exactly. That's what's important. Have you played Brawl? I did. I prefer Melee. Race to the finish. Go! Uh-oh. I haven't done this in a long time. That's my excuse for doing bad. Also, Metal's here. He's like a bad luck charm.
Hello.
See? Wee. Bam, bam, bam. Oh. Right, you have to jump over the doors. I thought you had to like walk into them. My bad. 3 coins though, not bad. Thoughts on Clone Wars Season 1? It was okay at best. A lot of silly episodes, but I don't know. Like I wouldn't personally recommend Season 1 to anybody. But there was some stuff in there I liked. I don't think me and Fortia wrote it down, but there were some things we were like, hey, that was okay. Metal Captain Falcon.
I'm not a falcon or a captain.
Good. I think it would be irresponsible to give you the rank of Capitonis.
That's like your opinion.
Dude, you have to see that. That's pure skill that I just won with there.
Falcon, fall!
It's like my best power. Uh-oh. Ooh.
Why are you running? Stop running away.
Whoa, I did not see that coming. Continue? Sure. We'll spend the money to get back in. Do you like Deadpool 1 and 2? Maybe your first R-rated movie review? Love your unbridled praise of Infinity War. Uh-oh. No! Oh. Yeah, I like Deadpool 1 and 2 about as much as each other in that I thought they were fine. I didn't really feel too passionately about them one way or the other. There's a lot of jokes I liked, a lot of ones that I was like, oh, that was a bit awkward. So, no, I managed to dodge it that time. So yeah, probably wouldn't do it for that one, but I think the new Predator film is R-rated, so there you go. I'll be doing an R-rated one for that. Oh god. Oh, wait, that didn't hit me? Nice. Bam, 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 bam. Wow, that killed me. How did you and Dishonored Wolf meet? I saw his video on Star Wars, I think it was, actually. And I thought it was very good. In that... You know what I thought it had over mine was that he actually talked about some of the positive parts of the movie, which I didn't even bother. I was just like, nah, fuck it. So I was like, his is actually fairer than what I did. And obviously how entertaining you may have felt either one was is up to you, but I think I gave him a sort of shout out of sorts. But then I felt like I couldn't leave it there, and so I threw in an insult as well about his Thor Ragnarok video, which I didn't like. Because I like Thor Ragnarok a lot. I think it's good tisms. And so he commented on my video because I think someone who watched me watches him and let him know. And then I said I'd be up for talking about it. And then we did. And then we sorted out a little like podcasty thing where we spoke about Civil War because I knew that he wasn't a fan of Marvel at all. And from there we've become bestest of friends. Does your Soma vs. Amnesia series work as a podcast? I have an issue with gore and shit and I couldn't get through the video. I don't think so. A lot of the evidence is visual, but you could try. I've not seen how it works as a podcast. Oh yeah, no, thank you, Axel, for the $5 as well. Are you excited for Avengers 4? I will be if they release a sweet trailer. ER's solo vid is a bit crap. I was a little bit confused by ER's solo video. He sort of skipped over a lot of the movie. Oh god, I gotta fight Jigglypuff. And he seemed to like it a lot more than I would have expected. I'd love to talk to him about it, but honestly I haven't been able to speak to him like ever. It's difficult. Come on, Pokemon. I'll beat you up. Does this count as fat shaming by beating up Jigglypuff?
Yes.
Damn. I'm a monster. No. I also thought it was weird, right? I'm not saying I disagree with him, but ER made a distinction between how Gary stews typically have a goal while Mary stews do not, which makes them more interesting to watch. I found that a very strange tangent. Not necessarily disagree, but a strange tangent. Oh wait, was I only on hard? I thought I was on very hard. I was on very hard. Oh wait, did I unlock adventure? Is that what it was saying? Yeah, let's see how far I can get on adventure with very hard. I don't think I've ever done this without doing a continue. Thoughts on the God of War series? I love the third one. I liked the first two, and then I was very impressed with the changes they made in the fourth one. I'm one of the people who likes the fourth one. I don't actually hate it, but like a lot of people do.
Who hates it? I'll fight them all.
I got in trouble while streaming it. Plenty of people in my chat were like, "This game's so bad." I was like, "No, man,
Well, fuck them.
more."
Kill them.
I know. I mean, if anything, we all know that you cannot have an opinion on my channel. I do not allow it, other than my own. Here's more, I guess. Nice stream, by the way. Thank you for the £5. I assume you're British from that, because I think they do like donations for literally every form of currency. So,
Yes.
thank you again, Avalash. Avalash. Mod at Mr. Sally Joe. Why? What about the God of War prequels? I actually intend to play them as part of my big old research for... Oh, wow. Look, I was just killed. What the fuck? I may as well just restart. Jesus. Frickin' Cooper. How could you? I love your video game reviews. I personally can't stand platformers, horror games, or difficult games like Dark Souls, but all of those videos are so compelling and interesting. Well, thank you, Kenobi. That means a lot. Really does.
Makes me wrecked personally.
Dun, 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 dun. Sorry, I'm new here. That's fine. Have you watched Shot Caller, and if so, what's your opinion on it? I have no idea what Shot Caller is. What's your opinion on the Mission Impossible franchise? Neat action films?
Fun but silly.
American James Bond, but not really at all. It's like the stupidest comparison ever, but I said it anyway.
Isn't there like a new one, or a new one is coming out or something?
Yeah, Fallout, I believe, is the new one. And it has Superman in it. And that is, by the way, that's the film that he kept his mustache for.
Oh.
So, yeah. It's pretty neat, right?
Oh no, I was thinking about Justice League. I want to kill myself.
Whoa. Name a bad ER video. Not sure how it feels about. I don't think there is there is what I would call a bad ER video. If we're going to talk about his like serious ones, where he's trying to review something. But I mean, I know a lot of people don't like him, and that's absolutely okay. Because one of the don't pick that up, please. Don't pick that up. Oh, you picked it up, you bastard. One of the things I typically say about ER is I love his editing style, and I love his humor. I don't always agree with his assessments.
Oh no. I have the first optional mission to hunt a basil goose. I'm scared.
Hunt the basil dudes?
Goose!
The fuck is that?
The big flying monster that just bombs everything.
Oh, he's like the flying version of the fucking chin dude.
Yeah, pretty much.
And yeah, I'd probably stream Monster Hunter if not for the fact that I haven't tested it, and for some reason I think that's gonna actually kill my like the frames. Maybe. Have you tried it?
No. Every time I'm playing, I'm mostly playing with you or on my own.
That doesn't mean you can't stream it.
I know, but I'm just playing it, I guess.
I see. Well, how do you think I feel? I've just murdered a shit ton of Yoshis.
That's good.
Thoughts on Castlevania? I love the original, even though I had plenty of criticisms for it. I need to play all the Symphony of the Night games. I've played Castlevania 1, 2, 3, and Super Castlevania 4.
I think you really like Symphony of the Night.
I probably would.
It's like one of those games I just come back to once in a while. Just like it. It's good tisms.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, the Puma. That's a very kind thing for you to say. Is there a set amount of time between each stream, or could you put a reminder around 10 PM English time because it's a bugger staying up till 2 AM each night just in case? Oh, I feel horrible if that's what you're doing. They're so... they depend on how much I'm doing. Like, for example, I wanted to do it yesterday, but then I wanted to go to sleep earlier. So then the day before, and I think I was doing a podcast recording with Wolf, so there's always... It'll be like, oh, am I free today? And it's like, I guess I am. I guess I could do it. Why do I have to fight Mario and his girlfriend? It's ridiculous. Why can't I have my own girlfriend? Or I guess in this case, potentially boyfriend, because it is Samus. Shamoosh. You know what? What I just said was sexist. I should have said Peach and her boyfriend. That's what I should have said.
Sure.
Get me the tomato! I swear to God, if I had died immediately after getting the tomato. They're just beating me up, dude. This is wrong. I wanted to talk to them about politics. I was like, how is the Mushroom Kingdom truly governed? And what can we do to improve it? Ow. Oh, you guys are just gonna sit there because the new rocket's coming? Fuck you! Oh, she can block it, wow.
She's fucking better than you.
That's sexual harassment!
Sexy harassment.
That is true. Oh my god, what an epic fucking win!
Oh, I see. Oh. Oh.
But yes, to answer your question, my streams are very random. I want to do them once per week at the most. Obviously, there's a 2-week gap for this one. And it could be any night, and it could genuinely be any time, but typically it would be night time in British time, I suppose. Have you evolved as a critic yet? Of course, I'm still attempting that. You need to get a lot of... Is it moonstones that evolve Pokemon? I forget.
Don't ask me.
Do you watch anime? If so, do you have any favorites? One Punch Man and FMA Brotherhood are my favorite animus, but I've only seen about 6, so I'm not a really great perspective on it, but I'm pretty sure those two are pretty highly rated anyway.
Indeed.
See, Metal said indeed, so I win. Do you know Weekend Warrior? If so, what's your opinion on him? I've actually met him through my Discord. He's gonna have a guest spot in my videos coming in as well, as are like 6 other YouTubers, I think. So, yes. Plenty of fun to be had. Have you embraced Ticoism? I'm not 100% sure on the tenets of Ticoism. They bother me. You're going to try out the new God of War game plus coming out August 20th? I'm sure me, Metal, and Fortier probably all will. And Emi, actually, isn't it? He likes that game. What do you think about the Titans trailer? Hilarious. I can't believe they did that. I'd love to be in the production area and just to see if they were like, how do we tank this series? Because I just want to not work on it ever. And they were like, fuck Batman. Fucking hell, this is not working out. Stupid small people.
Whoa, careful with that.
Okay, small monkeys, there you go.
No.
Oh, Jesus.
That's racist.
No. And I'm dead. Again. Stop attacking me. Alright. Come on. One more barge or shot should do it. Now that felt good. Yeah! Oh my. James Moore. Oh no, I'm back with more questions. Were you planning on doing videos for the Dead Space series? And which is your favorite? What was your favorite part from the thing? Oh, right. Okay, let's take this one at a time. Yes, I want to do videos on Dead Space because I love Dead Space 1. And I have a lot to say on Dead Space 2 and 3. So that is, let's put it in tier 2 in terms of I want to make it, but there's so many more I want to make before it, unfortunately. But yes, I'm very interested in making a series on that. Which is your favorite? Alright, so number 1 is my favorite, but number 2 is very good. I like it. I just missed the feeling of horror. I thought it was much scarier in the first one than the second one. What is your favorite part from The Thing 1982? There's loads of bits in terms of like the scariest. I quite like the when the thing hasn't fully transformed into the new guy, and he's like doing that like hollow scream in the middle of the floor when they're all surrounding him and stuff. I thought that was really creepy when I first watched it. And then of course any of the transforming scenes are just brilliant. Have you played Transformers Fall of Cybertron? Hope you have a good day, Toodles. Well, I've played one of them, the first of the Transformers games that were more based on the comics than the films, and I really liked it. I have both of them on Steam, I think. But I had a lot of fun with the multiplayer, so yes, and I enjoyed it, but I have no investment in Transformers really at all. And I hope you have a good day yourself too, James. Thank you very much for the $100.
Wow.
Just popping in to say hi. Keep up good work, my man. Thank you, Nick. Always appreciate it. And the $5. I thought the Right Opinion take on Rags' video regarding IHE and Star Wars has some pretty major flaws. One of them being that Rags uses you for a crutch for all of his opinions. Well, we're going to be covering it, I think, is the best thing I can say to you, instead of like giving you a full sort of thing. I believe it will be Wednesday now, so yeah, I don't think that's been said publicly yet, but me and Wolf and Rags are planning on doing it on Wednesday, which is only 4 days from now. And obviously that'll be very public. It'll be on Rags's channel, and we're going to try and cover as much of the video as we can, so we will try and account for every possible part of it. It should be fun. Yes, and thank all three of you for the donations, especially James, very generous. Dead Space 3 is your favourite, don't lie. Have you hired an animator yet to animate the Lord of the Rings, but as beach balls, because I would be willing to do it? Oh, I remember that. Actually, was that the that was the stream with World Class Bullshitters, I think, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Mel, you're supposed to be the keeper of knowledge.
Why?
Yeah,
that's what I thought.
Have you noticed that there's a trend of superhero-related stuff where the heroes use lethal force? I miss when not everyone's an anti-hero. When you have so many heroes, that's mantra is, we don't kill, and we possibly barely ever hit. Oh my good god, Mel, you need to see that.
Okay, fine.
That was incredibly difficult.
Okay. That's the thing that just happened.
In fairness, Donkey Kong's AI on that map is just the worst. It's so funny. Yes, as someone just said, yeah, it tends to happen. It does. It's just so funny to watch. So, what was I talking about? Yeah, so when you have superheroes that are all unwilling to murder, then it's like, well, we gotta have some that are, just to, you know, switch it up. And then it's like, is that binary? It's like you have two types of heroes, ones that kill and ones that don't. It's like, well, they try to find some kind of middle ground, but most of them are just either murderers or not. For example, you could count Iron Man as someone in between. He doesn't necessarily want to kill anybody. He even tries to save certain bad guys. I think there's a deleted scene in Iron Man 1 where he tries to save Obadiah. But he's willing to kill people as well. Like, I think in Iron Man 3 he just blasts the shit out of a Randy. And it's just like, oh my god. That was a Who-Man. Alright. I've already at 100% and I'm nowhere near. I gotta find the Triforce, don't I? Oh, I'm just gonna drop right in. Okay. That's not it. Stop eating me! Well, that went well. No! What are your thoughts on Edgar Wright movies? I adore the Cornetto trilogy. I think Scott Pilgrim's okay, and I'm not a fan of Baby Driver, very controversially. Me and Alex were very surprised with that one. Oh, there's a lot to get through. What do you think about the future of movie theaters? Will they die or thrive or adapt? What do you think about streaming services versus discs? I think streaming services are going to beat out discs by a long shot. And theaters, I actually agree with Red Letter Media's theory that theaters will eventually be owned by people like Disney, and it won't be the movie theater, it'll be the Disney theater where you go to see whatever new thing from Disney there is, because they'll own 99% of the movie business.
That's a scary thought.
Will you do a video on Venom? Possibly. I want to go see it first, and if I get passionately into how bad it is, I'll do it, but if it's average, then I'll leave it. Because I just don't think it's going to be amazing, which is not going to be a surprise to many people. But Tomorrow's my 20th birthday. I just finished my birthday AMV, so here's $5. Well, TL Lucario and the Rookie Critic, thank you both for the $5. Very much appreciated. And from there, I'm going to answer... Oh, hey Alex and Jenna, of course. I'm going to answer the question about the TFA critique, which is that I'm still in the redraft process, but what happened in the latest update of the Patreon is I explained the next part of my oh, wait, I'm trapped between having to fight two Lukes now. Or Links. I keep saying Luke instead of Link. I have problems. There we go.
Leave them alone.
Too much storm worms. So, there's a part to Red Letter Media and YMS's work that I always loved. And I felt like it was a big reason for why I watched them versus other critics, was that they looked into interviews and production stuff to find supporting evidence, let's say. It was always very impressive to me that they would find stuff. They would say a thing, and then they'd be like, they show an interview, and you're like, oh, wow, yeah. I guess the example would be that they say something like, nobody had any fucking idea what was going on set. And then there's an interviewer who goes, so, how did you feel on set? And then they're just like, it was probably the most individual experience. And you're just looking at it like, because they have no clue. So... I decided to put myself to the task unlike I've ever done before. Like, so with the TLJ critique, I looked into every interview I could find for Luke, and I mean it this time, not instead of Link. And I managed to make a really great segment out of it, or at least I felt it was pretty good. And this time, I've done not as many as I can. I did the first 5 pages of YouTube for every main character and crew member. And crew member means writer, director. I don't know if I did any more. Oh yeah, Kathleen Kennedy is another person I did it for. So, I don't know if it translates, but that is a hell of a lot of videos. It was over 400. And I know that because I have over 400 references that are now being injected into my script because they're all in relation to different things. So that's what I'm currently doing, is trying to get all of those little clips that I found into the correct places in the script. Fall on the mine. Fall on the mine. Okay. Didn't kill her. That's okay, that's fine. We can get over this. Is he gonna get a Pokeball? Oh, he's coming around there. Stop batting me around like a bloody tennis ball. What the hell? Oh, baseball bat. That's actually pretty good. No. Either one of us could kill the other right now. Oh. Oh, that didn't... Oh, that's what he was going for this whole time. That makes sense. Gotcha. So yes, there's that, and there's the whole thing I'm doing with I've got bits from the audio commentary and some other stuff as well. Is this on easy? No, this is on very hard, Jenna. How dare you? Oh, Gareth's playing Guitar Hero. That's cool. Favorite song from Once More with Feeling? That would be the duet between Giles and Tara. That's like my high point for that whole episode. Samus should never be forced to fight itself. It's confusing. Uh-oh. He's getting a lot more kill shots on me than I'm getting on him. I mean, here. Dip. Uh-oh. No. I can charge up too. Excuse me while I just reposition myself right underneath you. That was amazing. Oh, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The Failure of the Last Jedi by same dude who makes the videos on the KOTOR game. I think I might have seen that. That sounds familiar, actually. Does Hello Greedo ever acknowledge or tweet responses? Looking forward to that TFA critique. He does not. And from what I understand, he doesn't really want anything to do with me, so that's unfortunate, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. As Metal always says. That's your catchphrase, isn't it, Mel?
No, it's my name fucking Bruce.
Is your name Bruce?
Isn't the movie called Bruce Almighty? Where he said
Yeah, I know, but I'm wondering, is your name been Bruce this whole time and everyone's been calling you Mel? I'm sorry about that, dude.
No, that's...
No, you did the thing.
That's not what I was going for.
Oh, sweet, I found a trophy of metal. So adorable. I picked it up, it's beautiful. Very hard isn't super hard.
That's not me.
I have not seen Mission Impossible Fallout, I'm afraid. Are you a big Smash Bros. Fan? What do you think of the recent directs? I've only ever really loved Melee. I only liked Brawl, and then I didn't follow it from there. Fuck off, Corby. Now I'm really fighting Mel.
No, stop it.
Come on, do your tismy fucking thing where you do the tisms. Kill yourself, Kirby.
Can't do it when everyone is watching.
No, not there, Kirbs. Do it on here. No. Kirby, you nearly did it. Okay, that's just stupid. Oh, what? Wow. Don't you dare taunt me. Oh yeah, just keep doing that. That'll really work out for you. What is this? Gotta get a few slaps in there too. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, my point about the TFA critique, by the way, with what I just said, is just that it's taking even longer, but it's gonna be good, hopefully. I mean, if you like the stuff that I do, it'll be good. If you don't like the stuff I do, you're gonna hate what I'm about to put out.
Can't wait to take a week off to watch the movie.
I'm gonna give the people who don't like my channel are gonna have so much ammo with this. They'll be like, he made millions of hours about Star Wars. They already say I made 100 hours when it's only like 5, so imagine what's gonna happen when I make an actual 100 hours.
It's like, oh.
It's like 3 billion hours. Alright, enough. All of you, do your rock move. Oh, that works too. Stop!
They just say the fucking dual blades just absolute obliterate when I'm playing solo.
Well, I just killed myself.
Good.
Also, you said while playing solo, do you mean Han Solo from the epic movie Star Wars: The Lord of the Rings?
I'm gonna come over and kill you.
Also, wow, I could just do this to kill him, really? Oh, okay, that was going well at first. Stab! Wow, he just hurt the other two. Neat. Alright, one at a time this time.
How can Martha stretch out a film to over 12 hours and I can only get 10 minutes?
Wait, who said that?
Jenna.
No, I can only get 10 minutes. Game over.
It's gonna be fans dying of cancer that will back it to allow them to see the video before it comes out. I agree, Al. I agree.
He's saying he's changed, he doesn't. Sky Guy, the one thing I've noticed about Hello Greedo is he's one of the most passive-aggressive, sort of like echo chambery accounts on Twitter I've ever seen. He's like worse than most. He keeps making tweets as if the
can see them.
how do I put this? It's like he makes all these tweets without any targets in specificity, but you know that they've come from him reading something. And so you have to just assume he's talking to a particular demographic, but he keeps making comments as if there's like no way to argue against them. There's a small rule of thumb I have. Now, this is not going to be perfect, because obviously haven't thought really about it. But if you can like easily flip someone's criticism on them, there's probably not that I don't know, that well thought out. So what I'm saying is, like, if someone goes, you know, you only like it because it's meant for kids, you could be like, you only don't like it because it's meant for kids. Like, you realize that, so what we both just said doesn't mean fucking shit. Like, compare that to, I don't know, it's really odd that Anakin goes from saving Emperor Palpatine's life by chopping off the hand of Mace Windu, but then he goes to killing kids, like, immediately after. It's like, try and flip that statement. You'd be like, So, like, and yeah, there's probably going to be times where you can flip it and it's, like, valid or whatever. I'm just saying that, he keeps posting these tweets where you can just fucking throw up a mirror and be like, oh, look at that, your criticism is, like, fucking just as valid as, like, someone farting.
I just farted.
Metal's just farted, guys. I just died. God damn it. I pressed the jump button. I pressed the jump button.
We're apparently lying. Good.
How many times have you seen Infinity War? I believe it's at 4. It was the first time, the rewatch, the time where I watched it for the audio commentary, and then the time I watched it with everybody. I think I watched it with Alex and again after watching it with a couple of other people. I can't remember. I think it's 4 though. And it's bloody fun. It's a lot of bloody fun.
I'm on 3.
Metal is trailing behind on a pitiful 3.
I'm sorry.
You watch it one more time and I'm like, he is trailing... Oh.
Well, you guys watched the commentary one as well. So that's the 4th one, I guess, then.
I know why you chose Maul. Since there is a Q&A in which I explain it, it doesn't surprise me that you know, but thank you very much for the $2.99 Australian dollars is my guess with the A. Oh, for fuck's sake! I'm supposed to not die early. That's the only way I could do this. Why, you scrub, I've seen it 7 times. I'll try and catch up, I swear. Don't you understand, Moeller? It's being children's media precludes it from being judged, even though shit like Avatar The Last Airbender exists and it's the best thing ever despite being for kids. The counter-argument I'll always put up is the Lego Movie. It's just the Lego Movie. My sister's 4-year-old loves that movie to pieces, and I actually watch it and I'm like, it's good.
It's good.
It's better than The Last Jedi. Also, I don't understand the whole, like, do you really think that Star Wars is intended for, like, by kids I mean that age group of, like, 4 to 8-year-olds or something? It's like, it's clearly meant for what you would refer to as kids being around the young teenagers, right? Like, it's not for 4-year-olds, I'm assuming most would agree. What's your take on that, Mel?
Yes, I agree.
What's everybody's,
I mean, 4 years just like, oh, light, shiny lights, whoa, fun, orcs, yay.
what is everyone's age group expectation of what their intended is for Star Wars? I would probably say, like, 12 plus, I think.
70 to 90 because dementia kicks in then.
What, for The Last Jedi, you need to have dementia to enjoy it. Can't say that, Mel, it's racist.
Why is it racist? Didn't say black man's dementia.
What isn't racist these days?
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, I'm definitely dead from that. If Star Wars was meant for kids, aren't all the themes of rights for animals lost on an audience lost because they won't understand it? People will probably argue that the kids would understand it better because it's so simplistic that it's like, animal is trapped, release animal, animal happy, woohoo. Hello Greedo is just ridiculous because he's a major sequel apologist but had made his bread and butter mocking the prequels. His inability to accept objective quality standards is so idiotic. Well, you made a tweet recently saying that it's so nice that we've gotten to a point where people are defending the prequels now, and he said he can't wait for 7 years from now where the sequels are defended with equal, like, veracity or something like that. I'm not saying that can't happen, but I mean, holy shit, the prequels are better than the sequels, so it doesn't surprise me. I think because me, Wolf, and Rags have talked about this. I think when it fundamentally comes down with the prequels and sequels, is that they both have poor examples of execution. But what in the hell are they trying to achieve with the sequels anyway? While with the prequels you're like, oh, they're trying to achieve the destruction of a republic from the inside to create a fascist government, at the same time as showing the downfall of a hero into a villain. It's like, oh, that's their idea, that's cool. That's cool. You know, I'm okay with that. There's like sequel trilogy, they're trying to counterbite. Ooh, a hammer. Let's use it on the innocent creatures. How's this for fucking animal cruelty? Oh man, they fought back. Your video on Infinity War was inspired. Why, thank you. A lot of people really liked that one. I'm gonna try and do some more. We'll definitely be doing it for the sequel. Do you know the Muffin Man? The Muffin Man? The Muffin Man. Yes, I know the Muffin Man. Who lives on Drury Lane? Well, she's married to the Muffin Man. The Muffin Man? The Muffin Man! And then he just comes away from it going, she's married to the Muffin Man. I shit you not. That was one of like the funniest things when I'd first seen the Shrek film. Do you know that's, how well do you know the Shrek film, Mel?
I haven't seen him in ages.
There's this bit where
I don't even know which ones I've seen. Well, the first one, obviously.
even though Shrek's a meme, the film and the sequel are actually good. Like, I would defend them.
I think the first two I've seen. I don't think I've seen any beyond that one.
So the fairy tale creatures are all hiding out in Shrek's swamp, and Farquaad is trying to find and capture all of them. And so he's captured the gingerbread man, and like it's like this evil scene where it's, you know, typical torture stuff, and it's just like, where I think at this point they've already taken off one of his feet, and they're like, where are the rest of the fairy tale creatures? And like the gingerbread man is like, okay, I'll tell you. And he's like, do you know the Muffin Man? He's just like, and Farquaad takes it completely seriously. That's what's so great about it. And he comes away from the scene going, she's married to the Muffin Man, as if that's helpful. Shrek and unbridled praise. I could do that for an April Fool's and then actually be legit about it. That could be fun. I was thinking of doing an unbridled praise for The Last Jedi for April Fool's and literally just put in all the arguments we've heard from all of the tisms on the internet.
It explains to us that failure allows us to learn how to succeed.
That all comes back to the red car theory.
The sequels revolve around the theme of not letting your past define you. I would actually agree with that. I just don't think it's very well executed. It doesn't matter what age group Star Wars was meant for, the creator doesn't always pick the audience. That's also another fair thing to explore, actually. I unironically love the first two Shrek films. I agree with you, Hunk. You looking forward to Smash Ultimate? A lot of people have asked me that. I don't have a Switch, and if I did, I'm not even sure I would be buying it, because I've got so much other stuff to do. Ultimately, I'll be playing Monster Hunter until I'm full on that, and then I'll be playing God of War, and it's like, oh yes, I've played like 3 games this year. Aside from emulators and old shit. And then one of them was a fucking remake. Invincibility now!
Sorry, you need to calm your tisms.
I'm sorry, but when you need when you have invincibility on offer, when you're fighting against incredibly strong mankeys, you want to have invincibility. It's very simple. Oh no. Oh, thank God. Oh, what? Oh, I didn't look at the barrel changing its position. I didn't want to do that either.
Also, I think you're gonna stream for a bit more, I would say, right?
Probably 1 more hour.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna go have a shower and probably go get some more things to mix my drinks with, because I'm out of mixing my things.
Excelente, Matlabajo.
So I guess I get back in like half an hour or something like that?
Oh my God, did I just kill myself again? Jesus. I'm really bad at this.
So yeah, I'll be back in a bit.
Okie dokie. I'm never switching my name back to the Lime Green Hulk. I think that's a wise decision. That is my that's my unbridled perspective on that. Oh, I just continued. I didn't even mean to. Oh well, we're doing it now. He should play Witcher. I'm gonna do it eventually. Prime 4 is coming. That's true. What if Finn replaced Phasma as was a captain and an FO propaganda contributor to Rey going to the dark side? Can't wait for TFA critique. There's a couple of times where I suggest alternatives to the script, and on redrafts I've had to put like, oh yeah, by the way, this is me trying to rewrite the script and I should really stop doing that. Because it's so easy in terms of just like... I think I was on with Wolf and Rags, and we were just talking about somebody's video on The Last Jedi, and I think someone mentioned, you know, they skipped over so much that we didn't get to see or whatever. And it's just like, yeah, imagine we got to see a Leia that's at the head of the Republic. Oh, fuck's sake, I didn't even see him. And we see her at the point where the Republic has cleansed the world of the Empire almost, and we already see that Han is 50-50 on this. He's not like 100% on board with the fact that they just erased them, but he's just like, okay, because he's always been morally, like, let's say, sympathetic to the underground because of his smuggler history, and maybe that's where the Empire was being destroyed, like, in its final days. And then Leia, to like consolidate power, creates a weapon. Don't call it a Death Star, change the shape entirely, but make it something big and powerful that can knock out armies in one hit. And obviously the justification, or the motivation could be that she says to like, she doesn't want to see Alderaan again, and so she'll do everything she can to protect the world. There we go, he did it again. And yeah, her whole thing is preventing Alderaan from happening again by stopping any fascist government from rising. And obviously the interesting result is that it could be very much that she's turning into one, and that's the storyline. Obviously, you deal with her coming to that realization towards the end, perhaps. She can be the stubborn one, and it can be because of the horrors she's experienced. But then you got stuff like Han having to... maybe he decides to quit. Or maybe he's on these raids where they actually go and find like the remnants of the Empire, and he has to watch his own men like slaughter people who have no chance, sort of thing. And maybe at one point you break into a place and you see just a couple of dudes who have stormtrooper outfits, but they're all like withered and torn, and some of them are just missing, like they have a missing arm part or a leg part, or they don't have the breastplate and half the armor because they're just running out. Kill the Lynx, you coward. And yeah, so maybe he decides to defect, and that could be like a huge deal that causes huge strife in the marriage between him and Leia, that translates to their son, who is currently being trained by Luke. And again, I never had a huge problem with the idea that Luke failed to train him. This stuff is a cool idea, so you could put that in as well. And then you have all three of those characters going through very strong developments from what they've had before, that's in line with what's happened to them before. And then you have to stop yourself and go, Mauler, you're writing a fanfic. And I'd be like, I know. I didn't want it to be one, though. And it's too late now. We've lost all three of them. Well, yeah, we pretty much lost all three of them. I mean, two of them are dead. One in real life and one in fiction. And then the other one is a ghost, as far as I can tell. So, there we are. You think it's possible Disney executed Star Wars 7 and 8 exactly how they meant to? Like they understood they were trading money for propagandistic political gain? They definitely aren't stupid, possibly evil. It's definitely a running theory that what they did was by design. But the thing is, you've got so many people that responded to it very positively, that would you argue that they would see that as a screw-up? Like Disney would be like, oh shit, people actually like this? Instead of... unless you're saying like... the ideas of killing the past, you're trying to say that they may want to get them into the mainstream. There's a lot of questions, and with how many things they've so fundamentally screwed up, you have to wonder if it was by design, that's all. So, I think there's some credence to the analysis, but there's not much we can do in terms of proving it. Please do House of Cards 1 through 3 critique. It's actually something I wouldn't mind covering, but if we start covering anything I want to cover, then there's like 100 things. And you know how long it takes for me to cover stuff. What do you think about Star Wars, making Star Wars scarier, like adding in more Lovecraftian monsters? I think it could be cool. I think you could actually have a horror Star Wars film, to be honest. But, I can't remember. I think it was actually Hello Greedo that suggested it. I think he said, like, hand out the license to a bunch of directors, give them all a chance to make a film out of Star Wars, and obviously you'll get a whole bunch of, you know, insane projects, but I should really have capitalized on that. But it could be really good, and I actually agree with him on that. I just don't agree with him the sequels are even remotely redeemable. That's where we drift apart. Oh god. One of your suggestions was having Finn's injury to the spine have permanent effects. While this could be interesting, one might argue that injuries in Star Wars have always been easily patched up. Well, limbs get replaced. That's totally fine. Luke gets slashed in the face, and you know, you can heal that up. I think that's fine. It's the problem of him getting slashed in the spine. That's where it's like, they must have done that to say that he's actually got some permanent damage. Also, I will add you now, Mr. Smooleral. Death Trooper would have been fun to see. True. Again, you could put that on the horror one, I think. Recently played through Halo 2 and realized how amazing the plot was and how much I missed out on it as a kid. Thoughts on Halo as a series and its downward spiral? Only ever played 3 and Reach. As much as I played them extensively, I've never connected with Halo passionately, so I'm afraid I don't have much to say on it, but I think Wolf is like super into Halo, so that would be where I'd recommend going for takes on that, I suppose. Also, hi Al, how you doing?
Hello.
Yes.
Ah, there we go.
Might need to turn you up depending on how the audience feel, though. Do you think House of Cards Season 6 without Frank will be good? No. Season 5 was dreadful. Season 4 was bad. The show with Frank or without Frank will be awful is kind of where I'm getting at with that, but
The show was gone when the ship before that.
I never liked how much they focused on Frank's rise to power and then arbitrarily just taking it away from him and throwing his wife in the way. Like,
Yeah.
it felt so strange because that was their whole plan, and then they just decide, no, it's actually not our plan anymore.
Well, if you remember Season 3, most of it is solid. The only subplot that is shit is Rachel's one. And do you remember she's with, I forget the guy's name in it, but he's in Westworld. And he pretends
Yeah.
he's working like under pressure, well, he's working under duress by the FBI, I think. And then like at one point, like he fake pretends to have AIDS or something in front of the...
Not only that, but he outpowers the FBI. Do you remember that?
Yeah, and then fucking Doug, like, he gets super jelly because she turns out to be a lesbian, and then, yeah, and that whole subplot could have just been resolved at the end of Season 2 if he just killed her then. But instead, he like... You remember, like,
Is
how
Season
they
3
beat her,
the season with the girl who's like, I forget her name, but the debates and the girl who's like...
Yeah.
Yeah, they fucking squandered that so hard.
Yeah, because it's at the end of Season 2 that Frank becomes president. That's when he gets rid of, is it James Walker? Or,
Yeah. Something Walker.
I forget how he fucks him up, but he fucks him up. He's just been fucking him up the whole of Season 1 and 2, really, I guess. But, yeah, then Season 3, he's in charge, and it's all a mess.
Hey Mauler, I'm a huge fan of the channel. I just posted a video about the new Terminator film. I'm a bit of a budding YouTuber. Would you be down to discuss this in a podcast? Though the thing I'm trying to do, I need to find some kind of principle with this, because I've had a couple of people who I've never, heard of before be like, we want to do a thing. I think the best way to put it is either join my Discord, and if you like sort of get into the community, I'd be happy to come and talk to you about something, or you can have a chat with me randomly someday, just so I know you. Unless, of course, it's something like a channel with like 1 billion subscribers, so that I can actually promote my channel and its ideas through it. Otherwise, I can't open the floodgates, if you will. I'm trying to find a way to sort of correctly do it. Instead of... It's the same thing for when people are like, can you review my script? I'm like, well, I'm going to do a blanket no. But there'll be special circumstances that I probably would. Say, for example, if Wolf was like, could you help me look at a script for my new thing on, a Star Wars episode, I'd probably be like, oh well, sure, because we're pretty good friends.
He's already asked you to do a certain video, hasn't he? Or help with a certain video.
Well, I mean, I've asked him to guest spot in one of the videos of mine as well. Like we do.
I mean, also like on advice or whatever, like looking at his script or whatever, like talking about like his whole script.
Well, I mean, you practically proved it there anyway. Like we already collab, so
Yeah.
it's sort of like a precedent. But yeah, I try not to just jump into anybody's request, because otherwise I'll be a bit hypocritical. So I try and avoid it. But yeah, like if you were involved in my community, then I would be like, I'll give you a chance to have a chat and everything, because it's obviously you're invested, as opposed to there's some people out there who would just be like, come on my thing and hopefully promote me, and then hopefully I get slightly further in YouTube, which is a fine motivation, but I mean, I'm not too into spending time away from my scripts to sort that out, if that makes sense. Trying to be as nice as possible.
Say no charity.
I mean, that's the thing though, I'm actually okay with say for example, if you had a channel, if Metal did, I would totally be charitable toward it, because we are friends. But I'm afraid I've never heard of was it the Media Channel or something?
Yeah.
Media League, sorry. But
I mean, that's why I'm hanging on to it. I'm playing the long con game.
But thank you for the $10. I've been thinking more and more about the movie Logan and how some things kind of felt forced and cheesy. It's still a pretty good movie. What do you think? I thought that me and Alex were the only people on the planet who didn't think Logan was good. Like, we're like a dying breed.
Jess didn't like it either.
Yeah, me, Jess, and Alex, we're the ones that are... And this is the thing. It feels like it's still in storyboard process, if you will. It's like, oh, we're going to have these payoffs. And it's like, okay, cool. How do we set these up? And it's like, fuck it. You're like, no, how do we set these up? And it's just like, I don't know, fucking hell. The world is just... I think that's the first question I asked somebody who likes Logan. I was like, in what continuity is Logan? And try and explain that to me. What? Because let me explain the why this is an issue. Some people are like, can't you see that there's like this sword in the background of one of the scenes that implies that the Wolverine from 2000 and I want to say 11 is considered the correct continuity. There's some other clues that might... And I'm like, yeah, this is the problem. So I don't know if I'm looking at the Wolverine right now who went through the 3 X-Men films, or if I'm looking at the Wolverine that went through, X-Men Origins, or if all of them went through that, or if the Wolverine one's a continuity. What about the Days of Future Past one? Like, how does that fit in? So I'm already... Like, this is my base problem with the film. I'm not sure who I'm actually watching character-wise. I'm not...
Mate, it's Hugh Jackman. What else do you want?
And that's how they've treated it, and I understand... Yeah. That you can be invested. It's funny. It's almost like the character version of being invested in somebody because of the actor. Because Wolverine as a character has so many continuities across the X-Men films that you're just invested because it's Wolverine, as opposed to what actual history he has. Because it's like, if you remember, he watched Professor X die already. That was in X-Men 3.
I know.
So is this the same one, or is this? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it. Is it Elastics? Yeah, do you read that?
Illistics? What's that?
Elastics. Is it a commenter?
Oh, where is it?
Yeah, I do. It's really easy to see it.
Oh, Illistics. I believe the Logan is in its own continuity. The movie is excellent on its own, even if you haven't seen the other X-Men. Okay. The relationship between Professor X and Wolverine is kind of the... I don't know, I'd say the biggest payoff in the film, aside from the little girl. And I'm not taking away from the little girl thing yet. I'm not saying anything about that, that's fine.
Yeah,
but to feel bad about the whole process with Wolverine looking after an aged and insane Professor X, like, that's some deep stuff. It's almost like a commentary on dementia and stuff. I like it, but I don't know the history. That's a big issue for me, because I'm trying to think of... this is the point I'm making in the TFA critique. You know when Han Solo dies? I don't think immediately about all the scenes he had with Rey. I think about all the scenes he had in the OT, and I'm like, oh man, that guy's dead now. Like, so when I think of Wolverine and Professor X having their interaction, I'm like, oh yeah, which scenes actually happened again? I don't know. So it screws with my investment. Is kind of what I'm getting at. But that's just the tip of the iceberg with Logan. The entire plot rests on one of the stupidest decisions.
Yeah. Well,
I think
did
did we catch like that was caught in the cinema as far as I know.
No. If you I have to remind you. Yeah, I saw it with Jess. That's the only time I saw it. You saw it either with Gizzy or on your own or somebody.
Oh, it might have been Gizzy, yeah. Or it could have been Ryan actually.
Yeah, because I definitely did not see that with you because I saw that in a different cinema with Jess. So I do distinctively remember it. You know.
But yeah, there's a lot of effort to not talk about the world in Logan because the world that Bryan Singer's created in all of X-Men is just the most confusing continuity ever, and he doesn't even have that many films.
Are you aware, like, the rumors or, like, I don't know how, like, truth is in these, but about Bryan Singer.
Yeah, I've heard some stuff.
Yeah, like, what was actually more surprising, I didn't realize he did actually, in fact, direct all of them. I did not. They are so different and very in quality.
I don't think he did X-Men Origins, and like people were like, "See, you need to get him back," and I was like, "He's the guy who made the third one, wasn't he?" Like, why are we pretending like he's some kind of? And this is the other thing. I've never. I feel like I'm just gonna be saying controversial shit all through the night, but I don't think that the original trilogy of X-Men films are that great anyway. Most people say that the second one is the best one, and for me I'm like, I think I might agree with that, but I still don't think it really holds a candle to the best of the MCU. I'd have to watch it again to be sure. I know I liked Brian Cox as the villain.
What's her name? The one with the long fingernails, Lady Death. Whatever.
Oh gosh, that was silly. Magneto being captured was cool. I'm trying to like remember what about it I really liked. I don't know, but the third one was so fucking confusing that the whole point of it was like Wolverine's arc was learning to be a team player instead of solo, which was so like, why the fuck are you having Wolverine learn this when like his whole character is being a raging psychopath who's on his own? I mean, to some people that might make sense. I'm saying that like that's not what we want to see. Well, it would be like Hulk learning not to smash. You'd be like, okay, that's something, I guess. I don't know. The third one's universally agreed upon to be pretty bad, so I don't need to explain it. Though I still, the third one, I still really liked the scene where Professor X was killed. Mainly because of what was going on with him and Jean, but we only really knew about that as of the end of the second film and the beginning of the third.
Yeah.
But I still thought it was good that it's like he looks at it as protecting her, but obviously her personality would look at it as he's locked her away for so long, and as he's trying to do it again, she just vaporizes him instead, which is quite effective. And you have Storm and Wolverine watch it happen, which is just like, oh shit. But again, you know, I was just like, does that even happen in Logan? I don't fucking know. Then there's Days of Future Past I really enjoy, but I actually have the same assessment of that as I do of Ant-Man and the Wasp. It's like, yeah, I have a lot of fun with it. It doesn't make any fucking sense. I don't even think the film really tries to make it make sense. It's just things are happening, but you know, at least Days of Future Past has the excuse of time travel, whereas Ant-Man and the Wasp were just like putting quantum at the beginning and end of everything. Quantum. Maybe you should play on normally hard. More feels. I'm actually entertained with just talking about stuff while I'm not even really paying attention to the background, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, you have a spoony moment, like, don't tell me how to play.
I've been playing awfully. I wouldn't even deny it.
I know, but I want you to like fake outrage.
Oh, X-Men 3 was Brett Ratner. Okay, I didn't know it was actually not.
Oh wow.
Bryan Singer. I mean,
Bryan Singer could have made a better one then. Maybe.
I want to have a look at what Bryan Singer's X-Men's are, and is it 1, 2? Bryan Singer's. There we go.
Already. Not gonna do it anyway.
Director. We got X-Men 1 and 2, X-Men Days of Future Past, X-Men Apocalypse. Wow. Okay. Well, I don't know about you, Al, but I thought Apocalypse was pretty awful. Like, I enjoyed it, but man, that film.
He did also write First Class, although I think that was written by quite a few people.
I mean, I remember I enjoyed First Class, but again, I don't know. The X-Men films were always pretty like weak to me. I remember being invested in them because of the actors. They had such fucking great actors in it.
Well, Matthew Vaughn directed that. He did the Kingsman 1 and 2.
Hmm.
Kick ass. Oh, and Layer Cake. Actually, I think Layer Cake's my favorite out of those films.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I just there's such a varying quality across all of the X-Men's, and most people look at Logan as the best, which to me, again, uncontroversially, I'm like, yeah, I think so. I don't know if that says something about what I think of the rest of the X-Men films.
Yeah. Man, have you seen Layer Cake?
Yeah.
Yeah. Need to watch that again.
Yeah, I'd watch that again with you if you wanted.
I think it's. I do like strongly like remember thinking that it's like probably one of Daniel Craig's best films.
Not Casino Royale?
Yeah, Casino Royale's pretty damn good still. Shame about the others.
Hmm. I like Skyfall.
Mads Mikkelsen, I'm never sure if I pronounced that right. He's great as Le Chiffre in this one.
I have played Empire at War. I really liked it. I played it for like 10 hours, I think, and then I stopped. But it wasn't because I didn't like it. It was just because, I don't know, stuff got in the way, and then I never went back.
Can't
It was
make
neat.
money out of it.
I remember telling all my units to go to a place, and I had Vader among them. And there's a highlight in one of the videos where all of the like stormtroopers and units and stuff, they're all moving up, and Vader just starts walking down for no reason. He's just going off, and I'm like, Vader, no, I need you. You're like the best unit.
Don't play right now.
Would you watch the 2003 Clone Wars micro series? Micro series? You're talking about like the animated one, because I am actually watching it with Fortier gradually over time. Not the easiest watch.
Is it really bad?
I would never call it really bad because it's so.
What show is this now?
It's the Star Wars Clone Wars animated show. It's very Saturday morning cartoon in that it stars all the people from the prequels, and they basically go like, okay, Anakin and Obi-Wan land on a planet that's currently being attacked by the droids, and then it's like, we can't get to this droid stronghold without talking to the local alien about getting bombs that can be put underneath this bridge that can break us in, and then they do that, and then they win, and then it's over, and you're like, alright. It's like, season 1 is the most non-committal season of TV I think I've ever watched outside of like House, where, oh well, Supernatural maybe is probably worse in terms of you don't actually need to have seen any of it.
Yeah,
A lot of people say you can skip season 1, so I was just like,
you watch the first and last episode, you would get a usually on that like sums it all up,
yeah.
and it generally like does cover everything. You don't have to worry about it. 'Cause it does the whole what's happened, the demon blood, or well the powers that, because they don't know what it is yet. Finding Dad, shooting a bunch of monsters, and then they're like, yep, and that's been about it for 22 episodes.
And yeah, so, you know, that's what I mean by I wouldn't call it bad, just like I wouldn't call.
Yeah,
Funnily
it's
enough,
bad.
I was gonna say I wouldn't call House bad, but I probably would call Supernatural bad. But that's not because you can skip the season. There's other things going on in there that are more complicated.
It's way too recycled for like way too long, isn't it?
I mean, yeah, it's more recycled than most cartoons. You know, like Family Guy and Simpsons don't even really have as much of a problem with it as they do.
Yeah.
And I can't believe they're still going. It's so insane. And this is coming from somebody who, you know, I don't hate Supernatural or anything.
Oh mate, well when I was on Passion on this Discord and just looking at people talking about it, I was like, Jesus.
Yeah, there's a lot of I think there's a big crossover between Supernatural and Buffy.
Oh yeah, I've noticed that heavily, but I can understand why, like,
Well,
in the sense of like.
correct me if I'm wrong, but when we met, it was like Supernatural was like the man's version of Buffy. That was that's always how it was looked
I
at.
definitely held that view where Buffy was a fucking, you know, gay stuff or girly teen stuff, you know.
And I wouldn't even necessarily disagree in terms of aesthetics, because like Supernatural is a man's show, you know.
Yeah, I remember watching one or two random episodes of Buffy like on TV whilst I was like eating dinner, like when I was like much younger, and like one of them was when I think she gets resurrected. So like what's that, like season 4?
6 actually.
It was well, yeah, I don't know them that well. I've only seen them once, haven't I?
Oh no, of course I'm saying that it's funny for you to bump into that episode of all episodes.
But I remember watching that episode, and her like clawing out the coffin and all that. And I was like, oh, okay. But that was like my entire exposure to it until like, wow, years after talking to you, I guess.
Well, somebody Oh no, sorry, it was Wolf. He was asking me, is there any show I would recommend? Because he wants me to see The Last Airbender. So it was like we could trade. And then I was like, well, it'd probably be Buffy. And then he was like, he had the sort of like, I haven't heard much about Buffy. So what is it? And it felt to me, I was like, oh, is this him trying to be kind instead of saying, isn't that a show for little girls? Because that seems to be what most people say. And I was like, oh, you know, and I give him like a list of all of the biggest things that happened. That I was looking back at it, I was like, fucking hell.
I'm not sure if I'm gay enough.
But like, so many people recommend The Last Airbender. By the way, I still wanted to watch that with you. Like it. I can't remember. I'm pretty sure it is actually animated in Japan, meaning it can actually fall under anime.
I don't know shit. I just know that everyone loves it, and then everyone hates the film.
Korra. Oh, the the film. The fan base is split on Korra, from what I understand. But from genuinely from
I love the Yars video on that.
yeah, ER's video, he fucking slaughters that show. Like, as somebody who hasn't even seen it, I was like, yeah, this doesn't look very good. Oh, the 2D animated one. Yeah, I've heard of the 2D animated Clone Wars, but I've not watched it all, and I don't know if I should. I don't know if there's a.
Korra fans are filthy degenerates.
It's not just that as well. It's the there's like a prequel series they made where it explains where the first Avatar came from. It's fucking terrible. And I just get like the second-hand disappointment from not, you know, I'm not a fan, but for a fan, I'd be like, oh man, that's just not what you want to see. But I'll get it eventually for realsies with the fucking Buffy reboot. It's gonna be something horrible. I'm the Avatar. You gotta deal with it. Avatar lost the name to Avatar because Nickelodeon didn't have faith in the show, and when Spielberg launched the blue Avatar, they copyrighted it immediately, lol. I kind of want to see Shyamalan's Avatar just because of curiosity, but I'd only want to see the show first so I could at least experience the cringe from the perspective of a fan instead of, or at least with the knowledge of a fan instead of the...
I remember watching Spoonie do a vlog, raving, mad about it.
Can't blame him.
Pretty good. Back when he was still on the level slightly.
Back when he was sane, slightly.
Yeah.
Do you ever see the Dilbert TV show? Slightly predated Futurama, had Billy West in it. I've not seen it, I'm afraid. Korra is garbage, ER is right. Also, fave episode of Futurama if you have one. Oh, there's so many. I'd probably rather just pick the movie. Well, I guess you could call it a movie. In season, I think it's considered season 5 in the British end of things, because season 4 finishes and then they came back with Bender's Big Score. That was the first of the movies. I love Bender's Big Score. The entire thing is great. Such a fucking great return for a show that's beloved. And then they got cancelled again. Oh, fuck. Oh. At least I'm not dead. And I'm dead. But thank you for the $10. Avatar The Last Airbender is simply amazing. It is high fantasy with amazing characters, a fascinating elemental system, and a great history. Then Korra screwed up everything. Isn't like canonically, isn't like in Korra Avatar Aang gets like erased or some shit thanks to... I remember seeing that in one of ER's videos. Something happens and like some of the ghost people, like the Force ghost equivalents, start getting erased. Some Tismy stuff. Because you know, that kind of thing is where I'm like, oh, okay, they wanted to shit on the original then apparently. It's the same with Luke in The Last Jedi. It's just like, you could have made it less blatant. Do you know, like, Ryan's talked about, Ryan Johnson now, he's talked about how, like, it was always tough to explain why Luke was where he was, because it had to be, it couldn't be that he ran away in fear, it had to be that he ran away for a good reason. And I always find it odd, I was like, why the hell does it have to be ran away? Force Awakens never makes it clear whether or not he's searching for something or he's, you know, hiding. easily could have made it that he was searching for something. Most people are expecting him to just say to Rey, I've been expecting you, or something, you know, wise Jedi-ish like that. Instead of the epic lightsaber throw. Oh, and I'm dead. Oh, it didn't count though, because he died first. That's brilliant. Jenny, you gotta be proud of me for that incredible tactic. I wanted to donate more, but I'm broke at the moment. As always, it's a pleasure to listen to you ramble and suck at video games. Also, what's more nonsensical, Grievous surviving in space or Leia? Considering Grievous is a freaking robot, well, half robot, and he's only in it for a few seconds, I think it's safe to say that the Leia one is far more confusing. Especially because she's unconscious in space, and then she wakes up. I love that everybody across the planet, when her eyes open and it zooms out, she's floating in space, everybody had a collective raise of the eyebrow, I think. Even if you loved it, you'd have been like, wait a minute. But yeah, no problem, man. Thank you very much for the $10, Akiba. Have you looked into the writers Kathleen Kennedy hired for the Star Wars story group? Also, Luke's reason for wanting to die was completely weak. Agreed, and I heard that it's majority female, isn't it? It's something that she often sort of congratulates herself for, or at least Disney for. Which, you know, good for her, I guess. Can't you guys just do the thing where you kill yourselves? Oh my goodness. See, the 2 lives thing is what has me worried right now. Oh! Stop it, Mario Kirby. Centrist glass cannon. It should have been searching for something. Legend of Korra was missing a lore expert, like you talked about for Last Jedi. Airbender had an actual lore expert, which ER brought up. Yeah, it sounds silly, sounds nerdy. Have somebody on the staff who really cares about everything making sense, and just listen to them. You don't necessarily have to, you know, do everything according to them, but Jesus, listen to them, so that they might be able to tell you when you've actually breached like 100 different things. Might be helpful. Thank you very much for the $10 reduce. The Bayformers movies. I never felt passionate about Transformers, so I don't really care about Michael Bay's interpretation, if you will. If you could call it that.
Oh yeah, man. How much longer do you plan to stream for?
About half an hour? Why?
That's what if you want to watch them and lose them.
Oh, I was planning on playing Monster Hunter with Urban and Metal, which obviously you'd be welcome to join.
Yeah, you can do that.
Should be fun.
I barely got past. Well, I barely done anything since last played with you on Sunday.
We'll find something to do.
I've had no time.
Yeah, I think me and Metal are like in the last sort of selection of missions now or something. It's been really good. My biggest problem with Korra's first season is how much of a great villain setup they had, and that it turned it around and made it lame. Would have loved a non-bending antagonist. Yeah, I think something like that is very interesting. Don't they try and make out that benders, which sounds silly without the context, are sort of the villains of the arena, and they think they're better than everyone else. That's what they're trying to sell as a community or something of antagonists. Yeah, take that, Fox. Bet you didn't see that coming. Damn it. Okay. That's how you defeat him. I'm doing speedrun strats today. Here's my theory on episode 7. It was passable, something familiar to get ready to change up for the next episode. The Mary Sue stuff may have been caused by rushed by Disney. You could always have fixed it with episode 8. It's going to be difficult to do it with episode 9. You're going to have to literally just ignore how powerful and talented Rey is. You just have to suddenly be like, this just sucks.
Can't wait.
Yeah, episode 9 is going to be a fucking joy for me to see. There are a billion ways you can take it, and I'm just so ready to see what JJ decided on. I'm excited for all the wrong reasons, and it's still more than a year from now. Game over. I'm gonna try classic mode again.
Can't wait.
I think it'll be funny. Besides, J.J. Abrams is capable of making movies that usually only just sink below par, I think, so it shouldn't be as bad as The Last Jedi. The thing is, it's a sequel to The Last Jedi, so yeah, I don't know.
You say that now.
I mean, imagine that we come out of the film saying it's worse than The Last Jedi. That would be incredible.
Give it time.
Give it time. That's the thing. J.J. Abrams doesn't often get tasked to make something new, so maybe he's gonna completely fuck it up. This is funny. I actually enjoyed his Star Trek films, even though they're like hated by Star Trek fans. Oh, fuck's sake! Stupid bots are way too good at that. There's a billion ways to take it for all the wrong reasons, and there's nothing to go off. Could you live stream Dark Souls one day? I actually have in the past, but I would be willing to do it again. Have you seen the animated show Justice League Unlimited? I have not. Who wants to bet episode 9 will be a Cloverfield? Oh, you mean like they'll set up another trilogy with the end of episode 9? That would be horrendous. But as far as I know, they actually do want to make episode 10, 11, 12, so... yeah, that's a possibility, actually. Have you ever listened to Death Grips? Yes. He's very, very unique, is the way I put that. Mission Impossible 3 is JJ's best film. Yeah, that's another film I actually genuinely think was good. But I think it's very tied to Philip Seymour Hoffman in that film. I actually really like him as the villain. He's very, very scary. Do you remember that? Have you seen Mission Impossible 3, Al?
No.
There's like a scene that I always remember. It's just because of how he delivers it. He's basically they need to capture Philip Seymour Hoffman and get him to do a thing so they can steal something from him for a mission where they do a thing or whatever. But as far as I remember, I need to see it again. What's not accounted for is how much of a psychopath he is, and so like they have him on like an airplane or something, and Ving Rhames' character, he's like, I think he refers to Mission Impossible Man as Ethan at one point. And then Philip Seymour Hoffman's character hears it, and so he's like, now I know you're Ethan. And then I think he says something like, you're gonna have to kill me or something. And then he's like, what do you mean? He's like, if you don't, I'm just gonna find someone you love, and I'm gonna make them scream. And he says it in a way that's like he's almost annoyed to have to do it, but he has to do it. And like, Tom Cruise just looking at him like, what the fuck? And he's just like going on, and then like it ends with how much he's gonna hurt him then, and it's just like, Jesus fucking Christ. And then they have to let him go at some point, and he does pop back up later to be the villain of the film. And I remember being like, man, he was creepy. But yeah, the Mission Impossible films, I don't know, as a whole I've never been like, they're great movies. If I wanted to cop out, I'd just be like, they're good summer blockbuster popcorn films. For whatever that means. BS Ice Climber Stage. Have you seen The Meg? I have not. I'm waiting for other people to review it because it just...
Look shit.
It seems like a waste of time. Like, people, the main argument is, yeah, but it's aware of how shit it is. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
It's like a parody of Jaws, like a B-movie version of Jaws. It's like, okay. Again, not really that interested. And I fucked it up. Donkey Kong. Thoughts on Dwayne Johnson as his guilty pleasure movies? I actually really like him. I think he's very charismatic, and if you told me that I was going to go see a movie and then you were like, by the way, The Rock is in it, I'd be like, oh, sweet. I would only consider that a good thing.
Yeah.
He's part of, I mean, genuinely, like, so a lot of people look at him as like a modern day Arnie in terms of he can't really act, but he's charming or whatever, but I'm like, I think he can act. He, in Jumanji, he played just like a pathetic little shit of a kid really well, as if it was in his own head.
Allergic to everything.
Yeah, it was really funny. Stop stealing all the Pokemon.
I hadn't seen Skyscraper.
Yeah, well, I mean, I've only seen the trailer, it looks awful.
Yeah.
Seen the new Tomb Raider movie? I have not. The only reason the Meg did well was because the folks who made the trailer used Bobby Darin's Beyond the Seas music. Fair enough. I've not played Warcraft 3. I'd love to see a scene in the Meg where Jason Statham says, "Shut up, Meg." I don't think that's gonna happen. Why, hello there. Mario! You can tell the commentator was very invested in that. Mario, come up. I want to shoot you. There we go. Well, that could have been placed better, couldn't it? Oh. We got one hit on him. That made it worth it. Also, Donkey Kong, you could do something. Oh, he got the bunny wings? Stay in the game, Wolf. You could do it. Can't even... Oh, I completely misjudged where he was. He's trying to do a freaking taunt while I was still right there. This guy is cocky. Also, he's about to kill me. Fuck's sake. Don't get the mushroom to go even bigger, that would just be cheating. God, I'm nowhere near blasting him off the... Oh, well, maybe. Oh, thank God. Ryan Johnson apologized to fans on Twitter. He said he's sorry he didn't make the Star Wars they wanted, and I think he meant it. Really? Have you got a screenshot of that? Because what I picture when you say that is, I'm sorry you didn't like my movie. That's kind of how I picture it, but you know, maybe. You know what it is though, Al? You know the real reason? It's just toxic fandom. They wouldn't have liked any movie that came out. They're just toxic.
If you say it like that.
It kind of, you realize, don't you? When they say that, you're like, oh, that is it. They could have released the best movie ever and it just would have been hated. Who are these genius analysts who come up with this? Nah. Wolf, why are you being weird?
Yeah, not an apology, sorry you feel that way.
Yeah, it's like when someone says, you should apologize, and you go, I'm sorry that you're offended.
Yeah.
No, don't get the hammer. Unless, of course, I make that happen. That's satisfying. Oh, the head came off. Fantastic. Imitul. Thoughts on how often people ask you what your thoughts on any given subject are. I understand why, so it's okay. All are very curious on how I feel about certain things in relation to how they agree with me on other things, isn't it? Like, I wonder if Muller agrees with me on how good or bad this is. And then if I do or don't, they'll be like, Doesn't necessarily mean anything, but it's fun for people to do. For example, aren't you all very curious as to whether or not John Goodman enjoys milkshakes?
No, not really.
I think that would define whether or not I enjoy milkshakes from now on.
Well, because you're fucking stupid.
Mel, you can't say that while getting beer and alcotisms. That's like reckless. Stop encouraging drinking on my stream. This is a very child-friendly stream.
You can't prove that.
I'd like to prove that.
Beer. I mean, shit.
Wow, food and Pokeballs don't tempt Fox to the other side of the thing. Oh, Snorlax, fuck him up, dude. Yeah. Snorlax for the win. Jenna scanned Ryan's Twitter going back a month and no result for the word sorry.
Wow. I'm sorry.
You must have said it in different words. Thoughts on the Fear game series? I thought the first one was amazing. Second one was Third one, I haven't even played the third one, but I've heard it's awful.
No, it's the best one.
Shut up, Metal. You like Monster Hunter and freaking God of War.
Yeah, I do.
That means your opinion is invalid.
So do you. Fucking exposed.
Oh shit. That's your video bowler exposed. Like, he likes these games.
He likes the games I like. What a freak.
Fucking asshole.
Also, it's nice having a 24-hour gas station around the corner you can just go to all day, all night. It's good tizzles. I bet you're super jealous now.
What you just explained is why I don't hang out with you more often.
Oh man.
Jesus.
Alex is like, oh, we're just outwardly saying it now, okay. What do you think of a movie series or a TV series on a steampunk or diesel punk setting? I think it takes
Maybe you don't want to know, huh?
I think it takes more than a setting to make something good, but why not? Go, Wobbuffet, you can do it. Yes, Wobbuffet, you are the hero I needed. Stop trying to put me to sleep. It's rude. Don't put me to sleep! Wow, I just killed myself again. I'm very good at this. Oh, there's a hammer. Nobody pick it up but me. Yay! Now I win. That was through skill. Do not disagree or you will be banned.
No ban. No ban.
I have seen Altered Carbon, and my god, how good that show could have been with all the resources they had. I had like a full-on explanation of what I thought of Altered Carbon to Alex, and I've already forgotten how I feel about it now. It was, had awesome ideas, but I don't know, I think that they... I can't even remember what I thought about it, I'd have to rewatch it. That's terrible, I only watched it like a few months ago.
I'll try and search for it later.
Search for it?
Ah, Discord, you know, when you talked about it.
Oh no, I think we talked about it in the car, because I talked to you about that and that other show, which is even worse for the other show. I've forgotten what its name was. The one that we watched one episode of, that's about like a boat in the
I know.
maybe the 1700s, I can't remember. But yeah, I would still recommend that one over Altered Carbon, by the way. Altered Carbon's getting a second season though, so that might be what shores it up. I remember feeling that way about Mindhunter. I thought Mindhunter was really good, but if I explained the premise of Mindhunter to you, you'd be like, oh, that sounds interesting, and then you watch it, and you finish it, and you're like, Oh. So I really still only know the premise. Because they don't really do anything with it. So I'm waiting for season 2 to fix that, hopefully. Because premise of Mindhunter is based on reality about how they created the criminal psychology section of the FBI, I think. And if nothing interesting ever happened with that, then it probably isn't going to make for good TV. And by nothing interesting, I mean nothing like, you know... It's interesting to see crazy people justify murder and stuff. I'm not denying that, but to have like no payoff in the finale of your season, I don't know. I think you kind of need to do that for a TV show. And the one for Mindhunter is super forced. You missed me. Uh-oh. Oh my god, I'm just dead. Wow. Anyone else on here like Steins Gate? There's gotta be somebody.
On my third attempt at trying to enjoy it.
Ever seen Cabin in the Woods? I'm excited for Drew Goddard's next movie, Bad Times at El Royale. Have you seen... I know I watched it with Ryan.
Shit.
Oh yeah, did we rewatch it? I think we did, didn't we?
I can't remember, but I still think it's shit.
Yeah, this is the thing. A lot of people are like, oh, but Cabin in the Woods is so clever. It's like, it's not clever at all. What do you mean? It's so obvious. It's like, yeah, there are tropes in movies where a bunch of teenage kids get killed. It's like, we've known about this for like decades. I don't understand why everybody was so impressed by a parody. I really don't get it. It's like, do you feel that way about Scary Movie? Because it's the exact same thing, but I think Scary Movie is better because at least it's self.
Yeah, Scary Movie is really good.
I find Scary
Personally,
Movie is well, yeah, Scary Movie 1 and 3 are my favorites. 2 and 4, and then everything that came after is horrifying. I always felt the Scary Movie films were stronger with taking the references as a base and then making jokes that just work regardless. But then they started like, I think Red Letter Media pointed out, and it's true, where it's like the newest ones where you watch Epic Movie and whatever else, they're like, look, it's Jack Sparrow and he's slapping the Hulk, and then the Hulk fell over onto Kim Kardashian, and you're like, what? I don't understand at all. And instead of it being like a clever insult to the film's tropes sort of thing.
Yeah, I got you.
I'm trying to remember, like, there's a bunch of class act fucking jokes in this third Scary Movie. Do you remember the Leslie Nielsen like meets with the aliens?
Yeah, pissing out. Is good.
We're not so different after all.
Yeah.
And cocking the shovel. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
See, that's kind of joke that doesn't exist as a parody. That's just a fucking hilarious joke.
Ooh, Cal, somebody asked what your thoughts on Koki ass.
I'm not sure my thoughts on Kogi SR. I liked it. I just didn't think it was... I think it could have been a lot better, that's all.
You didn't like it as much as I did.
I was a fan of the world they created and the characters. I wish they'd spent less time with the high school, at least focused on it less. I just found it hard to believe that people of that power level and political involvement, if you will, were
It's
like...
the only real anime I've watched that is like central behind characters in high school.
It's funny to think, because, you know, Buffy is a show about them all being in high school, they're dealing with Monster of the Week or whatever. It's just funny that that's the case, but they do have very narratively focused reasons to be there, and then they do eventually, you know, leave because they grow too old to be there. It's like, it's just, yeah. Yeah, I know that trope in anime though. The high school.
Yeah.
Didn't need that in Brotherhood. One Punch Man needed a high school to go to, I think.
It always puts me off when people recommend me once that, and that's the setting.
That's one thing I missed from Breaking Bad. I genuinely think season 1 is almost like spotless. Each of the episodes having a subject he's teaching, and it relates to what's happening. Obviously he stops being a teacher, so you can't really have those scenes anymore, but I really liked thinking about what he was saying in context of what happens in the episode.
Yeah.
It's very interesting. I found it so awkward, by the way, when he tries to, like, he tries it on with the head mistress person, You know, 'cause he's just like, see if it works. Just like, oh, don't, oh, no, don't do it. What rank did you get to in League? I'm not even sure. I was never interested in doing ranked. I mainly played casual missions, so or the fights. But it wouldn't have been a good rank. I wasn't very good at League compared to what you see on streams and stuff. Do you like Whedon's Dollhouse? Yes. If I was to rate TV shows out of 10, which I don't ever do, because God, it's so terrible to try and explain to somebody how you feel about a TV show with just a number, but I would put it like a 6 or 7 above average. I'd say it's almost worth seeing just for the premise alone that there's like a company who takes criminals and they wipe their heads completely of their personality and store them, because it's the future and you can do that. And then they are used for espionage missions or sex toys or whatever other companies and corporations hire them for until their sentence is complete, and then they get to go back into their own bodies and resume their lives. That's their prison sentence. It's like, huh, interesting. And they do a lot of it with it that's pretty cool from what I remember. I liked it. I just prefer Buffy and Angel. Sons of Anarchy, that's another one I see recommended a lot.
Yeah, and Death Note. You ain't seen it.
Nope. I've seen Wreck-It Ralph. I'm interested to see what the sequel will do. I enjoyed Wreck-It Ralph for the most part. I've heard negative things about the sequel already, though. I'm not sure. I think it's because of the trailer that a lot of people got put off because it came across like Ready Player One did, where it's just references everywhere. Now, there were a lot of references in the first Wreck-It Ralph, so it's nothing necessarily new. But I can see why people are more concerned after Ready Player One, because that film was fucking bad. That's one that's worth seeing to laugh at. Al, it's really, really stupid.
What now?
Ready Player One.
Oh, no, thank you.
I mean, I wouldn't expect you to thank me for watching the films in that category. Just like Justice League. That's going to upset you, by the way. Can you really fall asleep to a DC film in the cinema when we go see Aquaman?
Yeah, I'll be having like a few shots of coffee, like straight to my balls. I will stay awake with this fucking shit fucking heap. I'll never make it as a film critic. I can't stay awake.
I would tell you how I feel about the newest DC film, but unfortunately I can't stay awake.
I'm sorry guys, I got a video this week.
You have to Clockwork Orange you.
I spent your money, your Patreon money, and I didn't even bother watching it.
It's like the only request you get is to cover a DC film.
I think I'd retire straight away.
Retire. Ever read Berserk? No, but I've seen season 1 of what I think most people consider to be the best representation of Berserk in anime form, right?
Yeah, it's a 998 version, because season 1 could be confused with other ones.
Yeah, the biggest shame about that show is it's like, oh man, we're about to get into this shit, you know? It's like, here we go, and it's like, oh.
Yeah. It was super gay. I loved it.
That's cool. I think it was fun. Stop eating me. The weapons in Monster Hunter feel quite berserkish. Oh, fuck you, Yoshi. You should have died from falling that far. Stop eating all my food, you asshole. No. Read Berserk, it's great. You a melee beginner? No, but I have had a little bit to drink. And by a little bit, I mean quite a bit, actually.
Oh.
I think Mel has as well. At least I hope he has. I don't want to be alone on this endeavor.
I smoked a lot of weed.
I mean, I went out to get more things to mix, so.
You went outside? We have a rule.
Fuck.
You
But I
have to
needed
submit with the
things.
High Jenna Council to make sure that you've got the necessary protections.
Sure, I'm not gonna go out to get sparkled, please.
She has like a schedule. Only one of us ever outside at once. Yeah. Any shows you know are terrible?
Gone for now. Like it's not outside right now.
Any shows you know are terrible but are still a fan of? Do you have any of those, guys?
Yeah, Buffy.
That's actually you're a fan of it. Like, I hope
Oh
he's.
shit! Oh damn! Oh no! I jinxed myself. No.
No one goes outside. Do you smoke weed? I do not, but I probably would if it were legalized and easy to get to, I suppose. That's the only
Basically,
reason.
if you, like, yeah, you basically, when it's legally just like smoking in front of your mum, just go, shut up, mum.
Well, that's the thing. I think that my parents would be way too uncomfortable with it. So that they would treat it the same as cigarettes, which I'm not.
Oh, I know, man.
I mean, I'm not smoking cigarettes simply because my parents wouldn't allow it. I mean, I don't like them anyway, but they would feel the same way about that. I would imagine
Yeah,
so.
I'm not a cigarette now, but it's been good.
And that's the thing. I would probably respect the fact that they wouldn't want it in the house. So I'd just be like, yeah, that's cool. I'll even.
Yeah.
Actually, thinking about it, I probably wouldn't even tell him because he would just fucking. She'd
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
start googling how I'm gonna die from it or something. I'd be like, oh great.
Sorry, but you can come over my place when I finally find a place soon.
Well, I think that's. I would just say to myself, like, if I want to engage in it, I'll have to move out first, which is reasonable because you can respect what people's rules are into the house to a certain degree. Smoke and
No.
fumes and stuff being disallowed, I suppose, is.
Oh man, wanna come live with me and, like, you know, pay me loads of rent, please?
Please.
I want to live in the grandpa house.
No, I don't mean my flat, I mean my place in Newport, when I find one.
When I find. Yeah, that's why I said the grandpa house. When she showed the bathroom and there's all those like safety handles, I was like, oh, it's a grandpa place. Nothing wrong with
Yeah.
safety handles. I would get them if I became decrepit and old, but you know,
It's annoying. Those are the properties I looked at today. The best one, like the one that we need to look for, is one with like a nice big back garden and like sort of like a shed or a garage next to the house, like built to the house, so we can put the dog in. And the best one we found for that is fucking like in like the most chaviest area of Newport, and like I know it all too well because I used to go there for like, well, I used to have to go to one of the schools in that area. And the whole place, you know, you will see the parents and all that. And you're like, oh my god. It's proper. It's chavvy as fuck.
that sounds awful.
But the house is like really good, like on the inside. But it's like on the outside, it looks like shit.
But yes, I'm going to end my stream now. The update you guys are so desperate for in terms of new videos will be that. Let me check the date. So the Predator movie is released in less than a month. Me and Alex will go see that, and I seriously doubt it'll be anything other than awful. I have it from
Yeah.
someone I know who is in the movie business who has information on a pre-screen saying that the audience hated it for the most part, so we can already guess it's not going to be very good. And if it's not very good, I will make a video because god damn it, I'm tired of Predator being shat on. It's pretty cool, you know, with the dreadlocks and the cannon. They are the things that are making it amazing. So you can expect that within a month. But while that's going on, I am still fixing up my TFA critique, which has managed to get even longer. But the first part is actually in its like near final phase. So all updates are on Patreon for like extended stuff if you want to know what's going on specifically with what I'm working on through these days. But yes, it's still coming, and it's gonna be long. And that's about it. So thank you all for joining, and thank you very much for the donations. I will see you next time.
Bye.